able to generate backend API tests directly from your network traffic, saving time and resources when they're most needed. Today, I will show you how this becomes a reality by using TypeScript, GenAI, and K6. I'll also share some tips on how to balance the use of AI with scripting to ensure efficiency without compromising on quality. My name is Anaïs Van Asselt. I am a QA engineer with a passion for full-stack test automation. I am from the Netherlands, but in 2022, I joined Choco in Berlin in their mission to reduce food waste by automating the supply chain process. At Choco, I do a lot with backend test automation, and as we migrate from a Lambda to an STS application environment, we have to keep up with the features, which results in tight deadlines and limited capacity to ensure that everything is working as expected. This led me to the question, how can we simplify backend API test automation? First, a quick overview on how we test our GraphQL APIs with K6. We use GraphQL to request our data more efficiently. So instead of requesting all of these fixed data sets like with REST, we can just get the data that we want. So for example, we only need the buyer name from the buyer service. We query for it with the GraphQL variables ID, and we only get this buyer name as a simple JSON format returned. K6 is our tool of choice when it comes to API and load testing, and it's written in Go, which means that we need to compile our TypeScript into JavaScript code in order to run it. I designed a 6-layer architecture with K6 to allow for easy maintenance and reusability. The first layer is the entry point of the test suite, which is the main file, and it loads the test data and defines all of the test scenarios. Every scenario points to a test, which gives an overview of all of the test steps, including login and API calls. Next, all of the API calls are isolated in a step file where the GraphQL query is executed with the variables, and the assertions are done on the response. The query is stored separately in a query file, and the same goes for all of the test data of the variables in order to make the test reusable. And finally, we have the options in the JSON format where we define the test types by specifying performance-specific parameters like virtual users and iterations. So one virtual user and one iteration is something that we use for API test, and we scale that up for all of our load tests. These 6 layers of K6 help to reuse our test in different environments, datasets, and purposes. However, if we manually create the test in these kind of structure, it's still time consuming. How can we streamline or even automate this process? Here is where the API test generator comes in. Let's start the demo in a Choco web application where we are logged in as a user with the phone number that we see on the right top side. We see the chat page here and all of the network calls done from this page here in the Chrome DevTools. Let's move on to the GraphQL network tab, which is a specific extension used to get a good overview of all of the GraphQL queries done. We see an amount of around 10 GraphQL queries. We see some duplicates here as well. Let's create some API tests from these queries. We download all of the network traffic via the har file, which we save in the downloads. Let's now move to our code. This is a part of our backend test repository. Let's copy the har file in this repository. All right. So we copied the har file into the repository where we can now execute the script to generate the tests. So the first question asked is, what is the path of the end-to-end test set? So the path where we will generate our new tests. This will be end-to-end source chat. This is located here, and this is actually a new test set that I generated automatically, which contains everything needed for the 6-layer architecture of K6, but it doesn't contain any test scenarios yet. The next input asked is the user phone number of the user that was logged in to Choco that we earlier saw in the chat page. Now the script is doing its magic. So from the har file, it found 10 distinctive GraphQL queries, and for every GraphQL query, the test code is generated using OpenAI, and we see that there is a lot of test code already written, and we see that a lot is added on the left side in the folders. The script is done, and 10 test scenarios are created for the 10 distinctive GraphQL queries. Here in the main file, the entry point of the test suite, we see that all of the scenarios are added. And for every test scenario, there is a test file added, the query layer, the step layer, and the query layer. And we also see the options here with the views and iterations. So let's see if this works. We go to the end-to-end folder. And first we need to build the TypeScript code into JavaScript code. As so far, so good. Now we are going to try and run this test. And before the demo, I already created a command to easily do this. So we see that 10 scenarios are executed simultaneously by K6. And let's wait a couple of seconds more for it to finish. And the tests are finished. And we see everything is successful. And there are even 273 checks done here. Based on the GraphQL responses, all of these assertions were created. Let's zoom into one test. Let's zoom into one test, which is the buyer data query scenario. From this buyer data query scenario, we have one test file where we log in and do the API call. And let's step into this step where the actual GraphQL query is executed based on the variables from the test data, the buyer data query. And then what do we see? We see that the buyer object is retrieved from a response. All of these assertions are done: ID, display name, city, country, full address, and we also see that the profile image is extracted, where we do some checks as well. Let's see if it also looks like that in the network tab. So let's go back to the network tab and go back to the GraphQL overview. And here we actually see the buyer data query with the response, with the buyer object. This means that all of the properties from the GraphQL response were converted into assertions. So there you have it. 10 tests were generated for 10 distinctive GraphQL queries in just a matter of seconds. And we can reuse these simple tests for more complex scenarios or load testing scenarios. Let's go back to the presentation. Let's take a closer look at the solution here. I downloaded the network traffic as a har file, copied it to the folder where we executed the script in TypeScript, which is actually a PMPM NX generator script. Then it extracts all of the GraphQL queries from the har file, and then per GraphQL query, we save the query, variables, and response to generate our test code for. Starting with the query. The query is stored as a variable in the query file, and the same goes for the variable values that would be stored in the test data file to make the test more reusable for different data sets. The query and variables will be used in the step file where we actually execute the GraphQL query, and then the GraphQL response is something that we translate into the assertions. Automating a solution like this can be quite overwhelming, and I noticed that it really helped me to break everything down into small, manageable steps. For example, what do I need to do in order to extract all of the distinctive GraphQL queries from our har file? Then when I solve the solution, I just um, go further step by step. GitHub Copilot and ChatGPT 4.0 really helped me to generate this TypeScript script, especially when converting data formats like going from a har file to the distinctive GraphQL queries. Just input the har file in ChatGPT 4.0 and ask it to generate a script like that. That really helped me. And a solution like this stands or falls with the AI prompt. And I noticed that it really helped me to improve this prompt by using specific examples of assertions like this. And OpenAI Playground can help to tweak these kind of prompts, comparing them side to side, and also use different settings to tweak your prompts and even view the code for OpenAI to do so. But remember, your tests are as good as your GraphQL responses. If your GraphQL response isn't correct, then your test would also be incorrect. So you also always need to manually verify these kind of solutions or the output of it. And we all know that AI is quite magical, but it's not always the solution. I was quite tempted to use AI for everything, but I really noticed along the way that it's way more reliable to just do automation and scripting for the easy things like moving the query into a file as a variable by just using regex, and I only use AI generated code in the step file. We saw 10 tests of 10 different queries generated in a matter of seconds. But it's not about replacing all of this manual work entirely, but by using AI in the right places to make our lives just a little bit easier. Explore AI for your test automation, but keep a balance and a common sense. Thank you so much, and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn to connect or ask me some more questions.